Of the uses. Yeah. Shit.
I'm sorry. Okay, seriously, it's 0 to 20. 1:26 hours per day. And you're gonna be there, right? Tuesday morning. I'll bring donuts. I don't really. Oh, it gets good. Thank you. 17 years later.
I was saying, we broke down the dirt. I'll give it to you. I told them that's what they say.
So it's the pair of this morning. Yeah, they moved up here. Not sure. Ready for camp? Yes.
So, well, no.
You said you didn't want the.
Are you?
We already agreed on some. My meeting like 3 months ago. When we first brought it out. No, we didn't. No.
Oh, and not.
And we pushed it off.
This one was just brought in at the end of August. This was brand new to the OSB.
There was discussion of waiting until January, right?
We wanted to do it.
So could this be part of the open discussion?
Yes, all right, we're gonna wait.
Okay, sure, okay. But I would say it has to be done by month.
We wanted it done for the meeting. I thought we had already voted on it. Anyway, we'll discuss, okay, come out.
But we wanted to give this time to run through it and figure out what was going to work, what wasn't going to work. We voted on it.
Oh, yeah. That's more long. That door, the door closest to the scanner is one that unlocked. The door on the opposite side, statement. But there is access. That's it. Have you ever talked about it? Okay.
I want to find out how much. I might find out which ones that are going to be.
Not yet.
It's in a second.
Not that. Right. And she said, I thought it was. I tried to Richard that in the year, that maybe this month is what we can hold, and did not get.
Yeah, stir the pot, sorry.
No, you're fine.
It wasn't actually.
That's the pregnancy.
I don't know the rest of the. These.
Setting up from behind was not.
So if I had one question.
I would. But we should be spending it on tonight. Yeah. We could be on video.
I had some questions, but I was curiosity.
During the board reports, ask those questions.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll, yeah.
Hey, the kid without two keys. Without two keys.
Scary.
The other night after the football game, he locked himself in his car, or outside of his car, on both sides.
Oh yeah, no, turns out Taryn had a spare key, you didn't tell me.
Your parents did?
Taryn did. This whole time I thought I had the only copy.
I don't know if you know this or not, but that hardware store in the middle of town can remake one of those keys. They can
Yeah.
make you just about as many as you want.
So you get the magnetic box and stick them up there.
You can, or you get a plastic thing that like ties itself with itself,
Okay.
like with a zip. Zip tie right there.
We.
Got a refresh button?
No. Not, are you ready?
That's right, it's, you started.
Oh. Okay, not the end. The United States of America. And to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Gerald here.
Everyone here. Brian?
Brian here.
You hear us?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Brian?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Brian?
His little thing on the right hand side's muted microphone.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Brian?
I can hear you
Let's-
guys. Yep.
We can't hear you.
Okay. Brian here.
Let's go to chat here.
You can hear us. You can hear us.
Can you text me in?
Yes.
Okay, continue to call in so that we can hear you.
What was that?
Or you log out and log back in.
Well, that's two, you can do this fine talk to the first time, and then I think that her, and think that makes sure. Okay, so this. Okay. That's very good now.
Maybe on other people's sign. Because no. So then you should be able to come in and back left.
How about now? Can you guys hear me now?
Brian, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Why don't you call Jason's phone? Or, and we'll do it that way, we'll put it near the microphone when you talk.
That'll work.
Okay.
Yes.
Give us the.
No, you said they called it.
Okay, she off my Jason.
All right.
Are you guys? Yep.
Yes, thank you. Okay. We have the consent agenda, monthly fiscal transaction. We don't have the monthly fiscal. Okay, so agenda review. We are going to remove the monthly fiscal transaction. We also added 5.4, the integrated plan. Only the ones that, yeah, right? Yeah, okay. So we need to vote on the agenda review.
It's like changes to the agenda.
There's a motion, is there a second? Any further discussion? Vote.
Cheryl, yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, Brad.
Dustin, yes.
Caroline, yes. Thank you. So consent agenda, we have ordinance, resignation, open positions, substitute bus driver, lead cut, high school and freshman assistant. New hires, yeah. Max Dex, elementary IA. Jessica Ellis, middle school, high school, special ed teacher.
And we're in the process.
So that he will be off the list.
We will be taking the instructional high school assistant. We have moved somebody in a position
Okay,
when I came back. Changed a couple of. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
but
So consent agenda. Motion, second. Motion and second. Any further discussion? Vote.
Just yes.
Brian? Caroline, yes. Thank you. So we have public comments.
Just so different.
Do we have any public comments about it? Two. So reports, board. You got some questions? Oh, okay. Okay. I don't.
Maybe I was thinking next week. Because I was.
Yeah, I didn't charge my computer and that's where my stuff was, so. Picking myself, but, actually, there is one thing that I think I forgot, that you will bring next time, is we had discussed, and we'll put it on the business of the next week, the compensation policy. Yeah, and that's what, yeah, I completely forgot that, so that's okay. We can do it next week. Not a big deal. Yeah, it's not. Okay, our student board representative.
You know, everything going on with necessarily comes, I don't know, but, yeah, but right now we're making planning. Nice, and want to try this. Well, that, rate flow through town, we want to make it better. Yeah. Hopefully we'll have enough student participation to actually get it done, which we're really going for, but that.
Thank you for being here.
We're going. A little rough, it's all the and stuff.
How are you incentivizing the kids?
But, that's what we're kind of figuring out. This hood and. Okay. I think. All right. Participation.
You're also probably putting down.
I have trailers. I have lots of trailers.
So. But yeah, I mean, we need a little groundswell a little bit. So it's looking out that it needs some of a time.
Right now, it's. Here.
If there's anything that's in the student statement report, first off, thank you now. Thank you. It's been a rough place. Tell you it's been a rough. But I appreciate. Glad to be back. But required, but I.
I didn't want to wow people up with thought.
That
Was I fresh? Please, for hours.
To support some of the things, and it's just very appreciated when the team comes together. And like Aiden said, our high school, that's probably where we hurt the most people. One of the things I'm really excited about is that everybody we hired has a certification. That's the first time since I've been, like, all but one is like in it.
One,
Classes about, okay, this is not working for you. Let me know. Let me in on the secret of what kind of instruction can work. Do I need more hands-on? Do I need more? And he's been emailing back and forth with me, trying to find that right niche to teach in his subject area for our kids. And I like that. I like the fact that they're kind of going out of that box and not just doing lectures all the time. And hopefully we see more of that, our project-based stuff. School started off really well. The kids are amazing. Like, they've come back, and, I always say we have that 90-10, and I'm seeing the 90-10. 90% of our kids are in their classes, they're doing their work, they're really trying. We have some kids that need a lot of extra support. And we're trying to figure those things out as well. But it's been a pretty tough, what I've heard in the last day. And so. My report's not long either.
Um, all the rest of the reports were good. Did everybody have a chance to look at those? Anybody have any questions?
Have you guys met Olivia?
You were at the last meeting.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because she is taking over the role in our special education department as director. She's been doing an amazing job. She has been also flying very free because, our minds together are good. I will say that because that's my background, but she has been going to a lot of trainings. We're trying to get everything copacetic. I'm just impressed with what she's been doing and how she's been doing it. So I want to thank her for doing it.
So, some of us were actually sort of under the impression that we had already voted on a policy that you had brought to us. I had said that you wanted to get it done prior to that OSBA did not put one out, but you wanted to get it done prior to school startings, and that would be the best way. And I wholeheartedly, and I'm not sure if we can go back to the minutes about it, but I really thought we voted on that.
Well, they should consider the last meeting we talked about, we had two different lines.
Well,
We didn't want to wait until the second.
but she had said that in the minutes, I thought, she looked back in our minutes and they had been approved. And at the end of the conversation and all, it was that we needed to go with what we actually voted on because that's what was put out.
In the maintenance notes, there was policy on national agenda. I did not propose anything in July because the SBA had not come out with the policy. They did come out in August, but I was here.
And we pushed it off of August, so we had more time, so you guys could do some trial and error with the students.
So the legal part of this is the policy has to be in place by October 15th.
Right.
Okay, the January is that we have to have basically all of the ARs, the regulations and our handbook. Like, I believe last month, if I heard correctly, you guys discussed the handbook. And
Yes.
the jury is already, so we're ahead of January.
Yes. That's for the January deadline.
Yes, okay, yeah. And so, and
Yeah, this basic
policy, as described by SBA,
from
we felt like for students to start school year and then change the rules.
rules a month was not appropriate.
I can tell you, every school would say we're going to do the same thing. It's like, we're not ready. And so, we have implemented the cell phone, regulations, the handbook, it's printed in the handbook. And now we're reviewing, lining up our policy with our handbook. And so this is the sample policy from OSBA. We have time tonight if you want to go through it and vote on it tonight, or if you want time to digest it. I'm not sure, Ryan, and I sent you a copy of the integrated plan report. I did not send the electronics device one, right?
Okay, so, and you send that down now?
How is it working? I mean, obviously, that you're just bad.
You know, I have been, like, and I've been here in seconds, so you can tell me probably more than I can. But what I've heard is it's going okay. Yeah, the kids, I mean, they understand a law's a law, and that's the way we present it. This is a legal requirement that we have to follow, whether we like it or not.
Right.
We didn't quite have plans.
Say last year that we were getting. Last, something like taking out the.
So the requirement is phones need to be in your home. I know we've had a couple incidences, with kids, but it really hasn't been bad. When I came to the publicity meeting, I met with a student in the office who was turning in stuff, and he said, you know, I've had it out, I should have known, and I just need to turn it in. And it was like, he wasn't upset, he wasn't like, he goes, I got it, I got caught. And, just, you know, all right, please. And then figure out it, okay. I'm not sure at the high school level, do we need to have all the parents on the plan right now. I have fear, I have depression, but I haven't heard it loud. And I think it is taking it out of the back pocket actually made a huge difference. It's consideration. Yeah.
And I must say, on this whole cell phone, because I work in the kitchen, I absolutely love it. Now I can actually see the whole conversation with the kids actually engaging with each other instead of I like the idea of seeing them engaging each other with actual conversations with each other. That's what I like.
State level,
You know.
that has come up at the state level is after school activity. Because of the way the law is written. And we have chosen to talk to our coaches about what their fees are on buses and that kind of thing, if there are any infractions. Then we nail it down, because some of our kids are on buses for 4 hours to get to their location. You know, so we're trying to do a little bit of solved on that side, so it's worth it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I mean, there's so many other, and the law did not take to the county, but the law is very specific about any time that you're supervised by personnel in a related activity. But it doesn't dismiss the way the law is, right? So we're trying to work that out for ourselves in the LA and make sure that everybody has what they need.
It's quite interesting. It says some very interesting paragraphs.
Yeah.
A lot of it goes from those from.
Yeah. And they may have changed that in this policy. There's been a lot of pushback. So this policy says, student possession or use of personal electronic devices prohibited as part of the regular instructional hours until the end of the regular instructional hours, except for provided below. Personal electronic devices can be used when students are not on school grounds and not under the supervision of school personnel other than the school bus driver.
So we have was sporting events still be considered instruction?
And
But it
they are,
I said is a sporting event, like going to a football game, that be considered instruction. They're not being taught when they're going to a football game.
Depends, this topic, history lesson.
Okay.
oh, yes, yeah. That's how we keep it fast. Yes,
It is.
So is that at that point, they can't use it for that period.
yeah.
Yes.
So here's the thing, and because this is in brackets, we get to choose. And I'm recommending that personnel electronic devices can't be students are not on school grounds and eliminating the ants. And just stopping it there for us right now. And if this becomes an issue on buses, that needs word reading.
And so, my question of, at the very beginning, student, I could say non-possession of, just use of a personal electronic device? Or are we saying that it's in their possession?
So right now, our rule at school is that it's not.
Okay, so we keep that, okay.
Is this a big exception? Something that's going to be implemented, or if they can fill out this exception work or something.
We're gonna get into that, yeah.
We don't.
Except otherwise provided in this policy, personal electronic device containing portable electronic power device capable of calls, texts, or accessing the internet. This includes headphones, earbuds attached to personal electronic device. This does not include laptops, computers, device required to support an academic. Personal electronic device may be used when really we supply from the terms of the student's medical provider or care treatment. We do have a student in our district that is required.
For student individual education. In accordance with a section.
Exemptions provided for student-based request.
Under JFCEDAR administration. So that does give parents the option.
A request. The form. And has to be a justifiable request for student. I will find student. Personal electronic devices must be placed in a district provided special storage, must be placed in lockers.
Okay, so must,
Oh,
well,
we're not, must.
must. Yeah, we want must be kept.
Yeah, so we're not doing the first one, must be kept in student lockers.
Take out more backpack.
And take out or backpack.
But personal electronic devices are not to be stored in. Take out the
Next bracket.
during regular instruction.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Well, now we're discussing this earlier, like this whole thing contradicts itself. What it does when you put two options.
The brackets mean something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the bracket mean you can either do this, or this.
I learned something new every day.
There you go. Student in violation of this policy will be subject to disciplinary action. Disciplinary action for mere possession of personal electronic device may not include loss of instructional time for the student, including suspension or expulsion, but could include detention. We're going to cross out Saturday school.
Change.
However, if actions taken by the student violate another conduct policy, this may be subject to discipline up to including.
That's maybe first non-compliant staff who give the
Student a verbal reminder of the policy and expectations. The second incident of unauthorized device will be temporarily confiscated and held in the office.
parent party.
In a meeting, you
Students
also have
also self.
putting their we've had a
The third instance of non-compliance, the device will be temporarily held in parent guardian form.
meeting with the school administrator, family,
Policy and compliance. Beyond the third instance
instance of non-compliance. Schools will determine additional appropriate consequences, always prioritize in class and engaged in learning.
they added that last one because else the state said. So if they're repeating in them. Like, where do we get them? So I said, yeah,
Uh,
so we,
these people coincide to the
which one
That's not now.
So in the handbook, it says, when someone's taken an office, locked up until after. Locked up until student retreats in after the final bell.
Okay, so the first one,
Yeah, I think number two is someone's taken office, locked up until parent guardian retrieves it after the final bell. That one's kids.
Yeah.
And then three is student required checking from the office, it's the final bell. Failure to do so will result.
so I will, can you line those three up? And you and I can work on this, to be specific to that language and.
I think that like.
Yeah. I remember that's what we talked about, but that was a long time ago.
I just want to make sure if we have a policy.
And it's just.
Well,
Or just
it's.
Be,
It's sort of an interpretation of the first one. I don't see that.
I am going to be on here, that,
So we would have to add that.
yeah, we will do that. That's all good. Necessary communications during school day while on school ground between student and parents or parents can be through the school office. I will also. Superintendents or designees shall ensure the policy is posted in the district website and made available to district personnel, students, parents, guardians, partners. Once it's voted, we will be sending it out to those in accordance with the ORS's student academic activity, independent communications, except as prohibited by this policy. In academic activities, when personal devices are required as a part of curriculum, student may be allowed, but not required to use their own personal devices for that portion of the curriculum.
Supervised by access. There are incidences where this may come into place, and it's because flexibility, especially with some of the students who are maybe take or the factory thing that they need to access my personal device. And so, although we are saying we're using, or they're not using personal devices, this may come with like, I can see a scenario where we would have to take that section. Request for extension of this policy can be processed in accordance with AAR. Request for personal exemptions and appeals can be filed with the superintendent's ordinance with ALAR.
Time, we're going to see all of that.
Taking,
This man,
disseminating.
traffic or other illegal images, also, or otherwise commonly called texting, sexting, emailing may constitute a crime under the state and federal law. Any person taking or disseminating these kinds of images or photographs will be reported to law enforcement and or appropriate federal agencies. And so you can see real quickly,
Change that to
pointed
Uh-huh.
out.
Yeah,
That can actually just.
yes. And that's just telling you, policy required this plan to be free from the board, and then implementation, everything has to be placed by the member.
But that,
That's under.
So, sorry, the one. We need to actually, since we've already gone through this. If we want to go ahead and vote on this. With the changes.
that's all I have to do. Yeah.
I will.
So the,
AR is
the request personal. Which we would go.
Next. We can do this one and then we do that. That's.
How we got through all of them, basically. Yep.
So.
So there's a couple of points on the AR, one will be principal. Fine. And then go back to the back page.
Yeah. School administration, Salt Lake School North. The decisions will be communicated to the parent and guardian with and police and can be appealed.
Superintendent's decision was final. Denied request and submitted circumstances changed after 12 months, whichever is earlier. Exception should only
Be approved for legitimate needs, students. Not
opinions. Exemption should be consistently granted in non-discriminatory manner. Exemption should be limited to address specific needs, the limitations to communications and student authority, possessions to use. Exemption should only be approved when other communications and advice availability, school phones, files, etc., are not available without specific need. Exemption should be communicated if necessary. Staff in a way that protects
student privacy,
students.
uh,
Or exemption should be assigned
minimize
discretions to other students down. It's okay.
It's.
And it's the policy JFs. Discussed.
There is a motion to address. Motion and second, any further discussion? Jeremy, yes. Brian?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Justin, yes.
Caroline, yes. Thank you. I put two district goals in my code. The only reason I brought this on is because I want you guys to take a look at our district goals within the next month. And we want them lined up with our, all of our stuff, everything. So take a look at our district goals and we are going to be discussing this. And I'd like to invite all of the staff to come to the meeting so that you can be involved with district goals. And just know that, you know, you're welcome to be here for that and to hear and maybe even give some input or something, you know. So. It's not mandatory, it's just, there's an invitation out there for everybody.
It's true. Detail those to us in our next board package. They're in here, but I think, you know, it's board package. I'll make sure that those things are. Obviously.
She can send it to you tomorrow.
Then it'll be last.
We have special notes behind each of the names.
Just saying. Everyone knows almost all.
Pick up on that, mine just says, I'm with Free Safe Routes School. And I know what this is.
I asked her, I'm like, what is the?
So when Devin and I discussed, the agenda, he brought up that, the city has gone out, the city and county have gone out to get bids for the safe routes. That's what they're doing right now. It's looking like they're gonna start that up within, like, I believe they said late, so coming around December or so. Okay, is when they're gonna be starting in, but the bids are out there and people are putting in. Knife River has requested that they did, we got that in our, he said that, right? So he was to put that with his report. There is a Knife River requested, asked if they could cut our fence. They will replace it. They can cut the fence, they can cut the fence and park the equipment. And they would, that way, they don't have to go here to Grants Pass or Canyonville to one of their facilities. And it would be cheaper, or not cheaper, but less expensive for them to be able to store some of their equipment while they do it. And basically, I guess currently it would be over here, it wouldn't be on our sewer lines, or, no, it wouldn't be there, it would be behind it. And there is a spot that they can cut, go in, which is not on the lines, and then come around, and it would be on this side of our barn, this side of the trees, and they wouldn't have to come through school grounds at all. And they would just be putting it there. There's a map. That's on that. Yeah. They'll fix it. They'll cut the fix. They'll replace it.
It'd be nice if they just put date in.
Have a put key in, and they can get, so that we can access 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And there is no very different trade business if you're.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
December,
It's going into spring.
Yes.
Yeah. Process. Yeah.
They'll drink on.
Yeah. What Knife River does.
So, only question on that. This is something that I don't know how the process is. Splash.
I do not can approve or one particular company that we approve access to our property to anybody who bids.
But some city county knows they.
I do think that we should, yeah.
Or is this something that, because they requested it, you gotta,
I know it's out of our wheelhouse.
Yeah, they are. They are. Again, they're the ones that came to us and asked. And that was, and it was basically what they were told was that it would come before the board this month and we voted on. Yeah. And we could, I mean, also.
I'm also doing,
Like, I think if
we word it correctly, we can be as vote, but I would like permission to run it for insurance policy and case to make sure we're in compliance there.
Well, that's the committee. It's okay, we'd like to receive some sort of. Bring the bid and bring it, I would like to see some sort of opinions to those sheets.
Right, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We're gonna allow anybody to be able to utilize it. They are going to have to agree to.
Putting out vision and then planning, doing it up.
But yeah. Yeah. It's part of that. Well, they put it jointly, right? They acted. In the site. And they indicate here's future active that they put it, like, and make sure that want better, you want that to be able to have those perhaps, rather patch of curves. With a 20-foot fence at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Agree
Yes.
that we will work
that is acceptable in their bid for access to our property to help support the completion of safe routes. This is broad enough that we're not saying one company or the other, but one request.
I was saying, yes, it is, as long as we are saying that within our scope as to how the property needs to be.
Yes,
Yes,
With me discussed.
yes, with the winning bidder.
Yeah. With that jumping,
we'll work with them, what their needs are.
and maybe somebody will think.
Right.
And lastly, it's sort of good into the policy.
No. No, we're working in conjunction with the city and the county, and we are benefiting greatly
Oh, I.
from this access.
No.
So,
It's.
no, this is, since Dave was here.
It's civic
Organization. They're getting
access to basic.
safe process.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yes.
I move to allow the lead bidder of the safe process school to use our property as we discussed at this moment, to help facilitate.
Okay, I'm going to suggest that you say that to allow, if we move that we will be letting safe routes to school people, county and city know that whoever the winning bid is will be able to use our facility, and not that it's people that win the bid that we are doing it to the city and county, not the county.
Guys, city and county are the ones that are doing.
Okay, but
Allowing their bidders to do that.
that makes sense, because they're the civic organization.
Yeah.
I believe that's what you said.
Okay,
I
I
get-
said the winning bidder.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear
Okay.
with our discussion
Okay.
as discussed. Gonna allow, we're gonna have access to our facilities, those that need it for safe schools.
No, it was not, it was a single.
But we cannot reply to a single
That's
company.
why I am saying do it to the city.
Yeah, I don't believe that we can reply to a single company
No,
when they haven't won the bid.
My favorite. You're actually.
And we will ask the city for them.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
I move that we allow the city, Lodge County to direct the winning bidder of the Safe Routes to School to come to us and use our facility as discussed in the previous discussion. With the caveat that the winning bidder and us will facilitate looking out the left team.
Brian, are you good with that?
is there a second? Was a second? Motion and second. Any further discussion? Vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Griffin, yes.
Caroline, yes.
Aiden, yes.
Did you have any? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, basically.
5.4, interior decline.
I appreciate you putting us.
So on the agenda, but I got it done. With plan, progress marker. Community engagement. Everybody I've talked to said it is a huge success. We're planning a couple other projects in 25-26 using the Ford Foundation grant and developing more community engagement. I'm looking at floating something that we can engage in that. We do our fall assessments are in for entry and it high school is about we've got a lot of teaching how to administer the test. Still have a member for student place, looking at communication with our admin. I know that Ms. Hood has had a couple of meetings regarding homecoming and particularly with our ASD. But there's still areas of targeted engagement where we want more student voice, professional development. Our focus on engagement and attendance has been productive. We need to instructionally support math instruction more. And that was a big indicator last year. Community partnerships are growing and developing. We have a health and wellness. We have our counselors through the ESD. We had our people come down and do physical this year, which was a success as well. Bonus for our families. And our current IRRE data shows positive in student and she
Our implementation of literacy, and starting in the area of math, particularly grades 3 through 6, has resulted in measurable progress on foundational skills. Our grade 6 or 8 through 3, I'm sorry. So looking at our data, those early indicators and those findings and that stuff we paid for the last few years for our teachers to go through on phonics development has paid off. We're looking for that now. We actually hired somebody, is taking training with the former math instructor and facilitator. So we're hoping to build upon her skills and utilize her as a resource to build our math development and we've got a ways to go. Professional development has been evidence-based and has been increased our instructional capacities. While we see progress in some of our assessments, our achievement gap remains, especially in state assessment. And one of our biggest areas for that, especially in the younger grades, 3 through 7, is in the area of written communication. and display your ideas effectively. So we're looking at some, information and, projects and professional development on that. We have a strong fiscal responsibility and stewardship, that we have rising costs and funding uncertainty. State meeting this week, the forecasts are not, super positive. And so we have maintained our balanced budget, but we need to be very fiscally prudent and on top of what we're doing. I did receive information, and you can help me telling you this so that she doesn't have to, on our just today at a state meeting, our HSF, high school stuff grant, our SIA, investment account, and our early literacy grant, all got made. For us, it's going to be just under $24,000 that we don't know about. We didn't plan for that one, and so Angie and I are meeting next week and going over the budget. I think we're going to be okay. Given some other things that happen in our budget that I can't share right now. But it was a pretty big shock to see that number. And then statewide, there's really not that didn't see the top. They said it was student enrollment that's down in the student market, and the forecast.
No, wait, I'm sorry, it's the opposite.
Forecast was down. Student enrollment is actually bigger. So the pot that they divided was small, and so not super happy about those. And I don't have a lot of information. I heard about it in the state today.
All of those are funded by businesses and recruiters. They're funded by businesses.
I would say yes and no. Like, how many students come into the role is always a variable in any situation. I think they forecasted the best they could, but they're also putting every district in a situation that is tough. And they can be very apologetic to that, but it seems to me they should know that prior to us establishing our budgets and developing our programs, so that we have to look at where our staff is. But that's my opinion. There you go. But as always, we will move forward and see what we can do. But we have to be the, we are really focused on community and staff engagement. That we are a huge grant for, and that's taking money out of our regular funds to be able to support that. So that's a positive. And if the barbecue was any information, it was a positive impact on our need. For staffing, this is an area that 8 of in Pittsburgh, we hired 7 new staff. That's a huge chunk of our 18 staff members, right? So we are having more pains with that, but they're positive. Everybody's looking at what we're doing. Like I said earlier, I'm excited that they all have certification in education, so they have some background and what we need to do. And we're working on providing them with skills so they can do their job. Our professional development this year is going to focus on format construction. We're going to continue with our English and English development, especially at the high school level.
Our interventions fall off a little bit at that level. And we started a couple high school English classes that provide more support in the ELA, and we're seeing it those. Student safety, we're fully implementing the I Love You Guys. And then we're expanding our student and family engagement this year. One example of that is we have a guest speaker coming down and coordinating. Tell me the name of it. Devin, tell me the name of it. Anyway, they are geared towards student engagement and family connection. They are, and we're using part of the grant. Yeah. They're using part of the grant, so they're going to come down and use the presentation and hopefully develop a parenting profile for us to provide this. So it's an exciting connection.
While we believe some progress has been made, our continuous improvement remains central to our mission. In our coming year, we have to refine our targeted academic interventions and accelerate growth for our local students. We need to deepen the implementation of our SEL. That's the 10% that struggle from outside sources, but they're impacting their access to education in our school. We continue to look at expanding our CTE through pathway opportunities. We now have a full program with our ag program and ag mechanics, and it's a career pathway, and we're looking at developing those even more for our students. And we're continuing to implement our CNA program this spring. We ensured financial sustainability through proactive planning. We know what's coming down the pipe. We're going to have to pay our own support. Advanced community engagement and participation is another area that we're focused on. So with that, the form that I have to answer actually when I print it out is micro size in font. And so I did this in part of my bigger presentation, but I also wanted to include some of the data. And so we have our 5-year graduation rate. We did go down to 73%. What I will tell you is that number included one student. That drop for us, and that's hard in a small little school that we get impacted 10 to 12% by those. Now, might not be close to those students, but we can. Our 4-year graduation, again, that impact was 8 students. I added this one because I always find this one interesting. It's not part of our required tracking, but it's our dropout rate, and it did go up a little bit. That is an impact from the 2020 when these kids were freshmen, and how many kids did not return to public schools in Oregon or not. And so it did go up a little bit. I was kind of happy that it was still below the 10%. I would like to see that at below the 5% mark for these. It is. That's what I'm saying is, you know, this is our freshman year. This was a big year, 26 kids. Yeah, in their freshman year, I think they have 30 students. And so, but when they came back, they stuck with about 27. And so, I already told you our ELA and our math did take a drop. That our math in particular, because we implemented a new curriculum last year, and you always see a dip when you implement a new curriculum. But I also think there's some instructional things that we need to as passing. Regular attenders, super happy with that number. We increased by over 2%. I thought it was going to be closer to 70%. Our high school in spring kind of made us. And so we're going to work on that a little bit. But if you could eliminate the last 2 months of school We were on target for. I was pretty excited, we were along those lines. This is another area that I don't report on a lot, but it's mobility. And mobility needs kids are coming in and out of our instructional programs on a yearly basis. We exchanged last year over 27% of the students. Huge impact. When you start thinking about taking students out from other districts or this, like that number, and I know you don't report on it very often, I know it's been around 20%, I think it was 25 out there. But that mobility rate, we don't have a lot of power in, but it also needs to be noted how much that impacts what we do. Like 1 in 4 students is exchanged and either comes in or goes out. That's pretty incredible. Yeah. 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 And so that's a number that's hard for us to deal with. We don't control the parents move or and do that, but it is a big number that's impacted. In particular, 3rd grade ELA is one of our tracking markers, and again, we went from 32% to 28%. Let's see.
Is that in your grade class every year, or that just third grade?
3rd grade every year. Yeah.
So that's why
It's not the same.
not the same class called.
No, it's not the same board. It's and I will say that in particular last year we had you get years where you have a few more students who experience disabilities, and that impacts the score. Or you experience the traumas or the big behaviors and that stuff. So, but I'm really glad it was still 30%, but I wish we could have pressed that score. So as we continue on our integrated plan, this is our set plan, and you look at your goals next time. I get looking at these scores and saying where is our primary targets. For us, we are looking strongly at math. We're looking strongly at access to some commercial language. We continue with the attendance, although we're above where we are projected to be. But that needs to be about 70–80%. By the way, we get paid on our attendance. So we want programs to stay. But I think we're working heavily, and we're working in particularly at the high school. Out of those 7 teachers hired, 5 of them are at our high school. And so I can't tell you how good of a job they're doing, but it is going to be a battle this year to maintain and grow as we develop these relationships. And I hope to see some, but I like some of the things that they're saying that we're doing, but it translates for our kids. That's where we work hard. So that's where we are.
Okay, let's yes, it's quite fun. Our training session. Where are we? Oh, we did.
We didn't do it this.
Yeah. So we
We could come up with.
date. Yes.
Let's start with when are we trying to shoot?
September. Yeah. At this point, I am going to say, you guys tell me, and I will make work for my passing.
Well, we're not like, we want to do it like an after BGP thing that we had before.
I think that would probably be, yeah, because we can't do it on Saturdays.
How about the week of the 16th, when the second or 17th, we were doing first.
Yeah, the 24th, good. 27th.
17th.
Okay, that's what you say, yeah, that's.
So, what do you think?
18th or 19th.
The 19th is working. So we could attach it to the board meeting day.
Wednesdays are good for you. Okay.
Oh. That's what did your schedule? Yeah. If you let me look at my. Well, actually.
I haven't seen it, but I really good thing, we follow components and I should be molded by the.
I thought we were gonna try to open.
So, we do,
Great question.
I'm making it work.
Well, I mean, it isn't something I'm, to be on the same pitch, but yeah.
That work for you, Brian?
Okay.
November 19th, 3 o'clock. I'll be here till tomorrow.
Big break.
You said,
Yes.
I am sure that she will send a meeting. All right, 6.2, review and action.
Action was friendly. I didn't know.
We've done a lot of things.
Can I remind you to put the meeting on October? And like.
And also, the book for the business company.
That's what I was.
The handbook is gonna change, but he doesn't. Other
Oh, it's very, well, yeah, we voted upon. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion on that?
6.3, retirees listing. We got it. We've got the listing from 20 to 21. So we have one.
I am going to
Get cards together and. Basically. And just so they.
like maybe
Thank you. Maybe a little bit.
that
That's what I'm thinking, you know, it's, and these people are still in the area, so I think it's, you know. I,
unless, does anybody have any other?
any questions from the audience? Anybody online? Ryan, are you good?
Jason.
Yeah. Goodness. Discussion.
All of your. Family knows that. Okay, so I appreciate the support. Yep.
And
Send report to you. Um,
Devin said.
They can both have.
We don't.